Ohay. Ashgabat. The capital of Turkmenistan, the largest administrative and political, industrial, scientific and cultural center of the state. Ashgabat is a separate administrative and territorial unit of Turkmenistan, the city with the rights of the Valiat area. The city was founded in 1881. On May 25, 2013, the city for the fifth time is included in the Guinness Book of Records as the most white marble city in the world. 543 new buildings revetted with white marble. Earlier this edition included such sites of the Turkmen capital as the highest flagstaff in the world. 133 meters. The biggest gushing complex. 27 synchronized fountains. The biggest big wheel of the closed type and the biggest architectural image of a star, an 8-pointed star of Olga's Hana on a television tower. According to official data of the State Committee of Turkmenistan statistically, for January 1, 2012, 7% of the population of Turkmenistan lived in Ashgabat. According to a population census of 1995, the population of the city was 604.7 thousand people, and by official assessment for 2001, 712,000 people. For July 1, 2002 official assessment of population made 743,000 people. In the middle of 2003 the population of Ashgabat was officially estimated of 790,000 people. 13% of the population of the country. And on November 18, 2005 was officially declared achievement of a 900,000 boundary. 13.4% of population of the country. On August 6, 2018 it was declared that the population of the city exceeded 1 million inhabitants. Etymology. The name of the city came from the Persian words love and the inhabited place, city. From the moment of conquest of Turkestan by the Russian Empire, the city, which officially passed to Russia under the Ahalski Contract with Persia on September 21, 1881, was called Ashgabat. This name remained till 1919. On July 17, 1919 the city was renamed into Poltoratsk in honor of the revolutionary figure and the chairman of Economic Council of the Turkestan Republic P.Sh. Poltoratsky, 1888-1918. On October 27, 1927 the city received the name Ashgabat. After declaration of the independence as Turkmenistan on October 27, 1991, a number of settlements in the country was renamed. In particular, the city of Ashgabat, according to the resolution of Presidium of the Supreme Council of Turkmenistan No. 686 GF, officially began to be called Ashgabat, as this form most of all corresponds to the original Turkmen name. In official Massachusetts media of Russia, the name Ashgabat recognized official on the basis of the order of administration of the President of the Russian Federation of August 17, 1995 No. 1495 about writing of names of the states, the former republics of the USSR and their capitals is used. Now in Acts of Turkmenistan. In their texts in Russian. In official Massachusetts media of Turkmenistan, on the official sites of the capital of Turkmenistan the city is called Ashgabat. In the Turkmen press opinions that the name of the city goes back to a dynasty of Parthian Tsars Ashgabat. Askanadav. were published, and foundation of the city should be carried to the 3rd century BB. However, in reality the city is founded only in the 19th century as fortress, and in the 3rd century BB there was not he, and located in 18 came from him of Nis, really being the capital of Parthia, but not only. Geography. Ashgabat is located in the south of Turkmenistan and 25 kilometers to the north from border with Iran on the Taransky lowland. The city is in an oasis of a Kaltik on the Prikopetagski foothill plain. From the south to the city rise Mount Kopadag, from the north the Karakum Desert. Height above sea level is 240 meters. In 1962 the Karakum Canal was brought to the city. Ashgabat is in the time zone designated according to the international standard as UTS+5. Shift of rudder world coordinate time. UTS is +500. Climate of Ashgabat subtropical midland, with soft, but for such width in rather cold winter and in exclusively hot summer. In separate years temperature above +45 C is possible. Osakov drops out 213 May year, in the summer of rainfall is almost not. The winter is short, but at strong invasions of the Arctic air from the north sometimes there are frosts lower than 15 C. On average in a year 8 days with snow cover, the probability of snowless winters of 10% are celebrated. The maximum height of snow cover can reach 34 centimeters. In the winter and in the spring nearly 80% of annual rainfall drop out. Average annual temperature, +17.1 C. Average annual speed of wind -2.5 m/s. Average annual humidity of air -55%. Ashgabat grew on ruins of the city of Konjakola on the Great Silk Way, which is for the first time mentioned in the 2nd century B.C. and in the 1st century B.C. The earthquake razed him to the ground. Konjakola was reconstructed because of the favorable arrangement on the Great Silk Way, and prospered until it was destroyed by Mongols in the 13th century. After that he existed as the small all until the Russian troops occupied him at the end of the 19th century. In 1881 the post office transformed, 1889 to post and cable is open. By 1917 there were 3 post offices. The next suburb Kashas, which till 2013 represented the certain all, but the same year was a part of Ashgabat, was the place of the Parthian fortress constructed for protection of her capital of Nisa. This conclusion was made by scientists archaeologists in the analysis of ceramics and other artifacts found during archaeological excavations in the 1970th years and also in 2020. The artifacts testifying to the being available city settlements during the Parthian period were also found when laying telephone cables in the territory of shopping center Gulistan in the center of Ashgabat. The modern history of Ashgabat begins in 1881 when the border military strengthening of the same name and the administrative center of the Zakaspisky region of the Russian Empire, which was operated by military authorities, was founded on the place of the Turkmen settlement fortress of Ashgabat. At the time, the city consisted of the clay lodges surrounded with orchards. Streets were designed by straight lines and mostly with one-story buildings, as after several earthquakes the decision not to build multi-storied buildings was made if they were pies-walled. The population of the city in 1901 made 36.5 thousand people, of them 11.2 thousand Persians, 10.7 thousand Russians, 14.6 thousand Armenians and other nationalities. Turkmens lived outside the city in the Kochevyuk. From 1881 to 1918 the city was the administrative center of the Zokospisky region of the Russian Empire. From 1918 to 1925, the administrative center of the Turkmen area of the Turkestanites. In February 1925 Ashgabat. At this time Poltoratsk, carrying the name in honor of the Bolshevik Pavel Poltoratsky, received the official status of the capital of the Turkmen. On February 4, 1927 renaming of Mr. Poltoratsk into Ashgabat was approved, at the same time renamed also suburban halls. Poltoratsk I to Ashgabat I, Poltoratsk II and Ashgabat II. On October 6, 1948 in Ashgabat there was one of the most destructive earthquakes in the history. In epicentralny area the magnitude of earthquake of M equals 7.3 was still 9-10 points. 98% of all buildings were destroyed. By different estimates, from 1.5 to 2/3 population of the city. That is from 60 to 110,000 people died. Now in Turkmenistan consider that the earthquake claimed the lives of 176,000 people. In 1962 the Karakum Canal was brought to Ashgabat that allowed to solve a problem of chronic shortage of water in the city. In July 2003 in Ashgabat were replaced with serial numbers of the name of all streets, except 9 main highways, which part is called in honor of Saparmurat Turkmenbashi, his father, mother and also esteemed in the country of the poet Mektumkali. The central palace square is designated by number 2000. Figure, according to data of the state newspaper, Neutral Turkmenistan, symbolizing a new era in the history of the Turkmen people, the beginning of Golden Age. Other streets received big or smaller 4-digit numerical names. On September 10, 14, 2008 in Ashgabat there was an armed speech of fighters which became history as the Ashgabat Mutiny. For suppression of the rebels who sat down at the capital area of Hitrik, the authorities used heavy armored vehicles. As reported by eyewitnesses, in the north of the capital during days of explosions and firefights from automatic weapons were heard. According to official data, fighters were connected with drug trafficking. However, according to some independent sources, radical oppositionists were opponents of military. The president of Turkmenistan Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov recognized that as a result of fights the staff of intelligence agencies died. According to Turkmenstat's data on Administrative Territorial Division of Turkmenistan on regions as of August 6, 2018 the city of Ashgabat was divided into 4 etraps. Berkararliksky, the former Azatliksky, Soviet, -7,500 hectares. Topadaksky, former proletarian, -hectares. Baityrliksky, who was a name of the President Niazov Lenin, -hectares. Vyuzminsky, Bezminsky, -hectares. Population. According to official data of the State Committee of Turkmenistan statistically for January 1, 2012, 12.7% of the population of Turkmenistan lived in Ashgabat. At the same time, estimates of population of the country officially aren't published. The population census was conducted on December 15, 26, 2012. Preliminary results had to be published in July-August 2013, however census results as of January 2018 weren't published. The new population census of Turkmenistan is planned for December 17, 27, 2022. According to the previous census of 1995, the population of the city was 604,700 people, and by official assessment for 2001, 712,000 people. For July 1, 2002 official assessment of population made 743,000 people. In the middle of 2003 the population of Ashgabat was officially estimated of 790,000 people. 13% of the population of the country. And on November 18, 2005 was officially declared achievement of a 900,000 boundary. 13.4% of population of the country. On elections to Majlis in March 2018 in Turkmenistan, 3,291,312 voters, including in Ashgabat -454,448 voters. 13.8% of the country in general were registered. That said that in the spring of 2018 the population of the country made about 4.9 million people, and the population of Ashgabat about 0.68 million people. CI of the USA estimated population of Ashgabat of 0.81 million inhabitants in 2018. Official estimates of population of Ashgabat for August 2018 made 1 million inhabitants. By comparison of official estimates of number of adult population, 454,000 people. That is voters and all population of the city, 1 million people. The official number of the minor population of Ashgabat has to be 546,000 people, however it is contradicted by official data on the number of pupils of average educational institutions in 2017/2018 academic year -146.5 thousand pupils. By 2006 number the Turkmen in the city was 77% of inhabitants, other 23% fall on such ethnic groups as Russians, Armenians, Uzbeks, Ukrainians, Azerbaijanians, Turks, Tatars, Persians, Kazakhs, all more than 100 nationalities. In 1991 it was forbidden to register non-resident citizens in Ashgabat. In the fall of 2012 the ban in the city was withdrawn. According to the forecast of the Union, the population of Ashgabat will exceed 1 million in the middle of 2028. Architecture. At the time of the Russian Empire, Ashgabat was the city with rectangular network of streets in combination with radial, in adobe houses with flat roofs prevailed. The Resurrection Cathedral was the highest building of pre-revolutionary Ashgabat. In Soviet period Ashgabat was built up with modern houses, but was completely destroyed by an earthquake on October 6, 1948, after which it is built up anew. The city developed by master plans of construction of 1949 and 1959. In quarters were integrated, streets are expanded, residential districts and green recreation areas began to be created. During the Soviet period in the capital of Turkmenistan, the constructions which became architectural sites of the city were constructed. After secession of the USSR on December 26, 1991, the city began to be built up point-wise with high-rise office and residential buildings, public constructions. Buildings in modern Ashgabat are built mostly in East architectural style. Many again built and updated buildings, houses, skyscrapers, mosques and sidewalks are decorated with white marble. The Telebroadcasting Center, Turkmenistan, 211 meters high and 3-stage 11-floor construction-bagged posh wedding palace constructed in 2011 were noted in September 2012 by the International Property Awards Europe in the Architecture of Public Constructions nomination. It neutrality monument, built in the form of the arch topped with the 12-meter gilded sculptural image of the President of Turkmenistan Saparmurat Turkmenbashi against the background of the fluttering flag is allocated with the architectural scope. At reconstruction of the central square of the city, the arch was taken down and again built in original form in the south of the capital. In modern building of Ashgabat, pointed building by high rise, mainly 12-story houses became a habitual norm. First of all, it is inhabited towers where the first floors are given for floor spaces and services of service. Many buildings, even old, are trimmed by marble. The Ashgabat City Business Center on Arkabilsi Highway is formed. On exclusive projects, the construction of buildings of a number of the ministries and departments, training, research and cultural centers is completed. The line of office buildings and public zones on Arkabilsi Highway will be continued. Economy. Ministry of the Oil and Gas Industry and Mineral Resources of Turkmenistan. The economy of Ashgabat is mainly presented by the industry, financial structures and wide retail chain stores. The total internal gross product of Ashgabat in 2008, by some estimates, made about $9 billion. In 5 kilometers to the north from Ashgabat, the well-known East Market, the Frikopex Pisasır, is located. Shopping centers. Burkura Shopping Center, the 4-storied shopping center, largest in Turkmenistan, with more than 340 outlets. Shopping Center Paytaht. Shopping Center Frikopex Pisasır. Shopping Center Ashgabat. Shopping Center 15 years of independence. The largest markets. Wholesale and retail sale. Budev retail network selling construction materials, plumbing fixtures and spare parts for cars. Industry. In the territory of Ashgabat and its suburbs there are more than 43 large industrial facilities, 128 averages and more than 1700 small industrial facilities. The most important industrial enterprises are Ashneftmash Turkmenkabel, the Turkmenbashi Textiles A complex. In Ashgabat 38 offices of a mail service relating to Turkmenpokta operator, and 1 representative offices of Dil Express work. At present 1 operator of wire telephone communication acts in the city. The Ashgabat City Telephone Network as of 2021, the number of clients of services of cable telephone communication reached more than 235,000 subscribers. Services of access to worldwide network internet in Ashgabat are provided by 2 operators, ITS and Turkmen Telecom. The most popular forms of internet access are cable networks Ethernet, GGON and ADSL. Popular earlier dial-up practically lost the positions, at the same time wireless Wi-Fi technologies actively develop. In the Turkmen capital 9 internet cafes function. The Wi-Fi network with the unlimited internet is developed in public places. In the city 2 mobile operators work. Kiskoltin Acer, the Turkmen national state company on communication provision of services created in 2004. In 2010 the company started the network of the third generation 3G of the standard covering all districts of the city of Ashgabat and the international airport of the capital. On September 18, 2013 the network of the fourth generation 4G on-lead technology is put into operation. The Ashgabat city telephone network provides communication services of cm. More than 55,000 subscribers. The network was created and put by the company into operation the first in 2003. History. By 1899 in the city there were 45 paved streets 13714 running sazons long. 136 phaetons for transportation of people were used. In 1912 in the city there were already 216 automobile carriers. Emergence of the first cars in the city belongs to the beginning of the 20th century. In 1910 car traffic on 2 cars along Ashgabat fire uses route was organized. Time in way was 2 hours. On June 10, 1920 uniform traffic regulations were adopted. Public city transport is presented only by buses now. From October 19, 1964 to December 31, 2011 in the city there was also a trolleybus movement. At the beginning of the 20th century the narrow gauge railroad on steam draft connecting the city with fire uses suburb 39 came to the northeast from the downtown. Was operated. Now on the city new Mercedes-Benz and Hyundai buses generally ply. In the south of the city the suspended cableway connecting Ashgabat to the foothills of Kopatdijk functions. In 2008 construction of the ring highway around Ashgabat which purpose is to unload traffic flows of the capital and to provide new, more convenient route for transit transport began. In the period of 2010 handouts by Saparmurat of the Turkmenbashi, Karash Sizlik, Kurban Sultanay, Bitarat Turkmenistan, by Miktumkuli, Atamarat Niyazov Street, Ataturk, Andalib and Ogas of the Khan were reconstructed. Modern Chandibil Avenue which is located parallel to Arkabilsi Highway is built. In 2008 it was stated the forthcoming construction of the subway. In 2014 the President of Turkmenistan Gurbanali Berdimuhamedov gave an assignment to the chairman of the Ukrainian Construction Association Interbudentats Vladimir Petrik to consider a question of construction of the subway in Ashgabat in connection with increase in number of the capital population. In 2016 in the Olympic town, the monorail system more than 5138 meters long is open. 8 stations between which 3 cars are built. Railway transport. The modern Ashgabat station for the first time built in 1888 is located on Gurban Sultanegi Avenue, near the downtown. This station was destroyed in 1948 at the Ashgabat earthquake, built anew in 1950 on the base of the old railway station. In 2009 radical reconstruction was carried out. Through the city from the west on the east the railroad of the Turkmenbashi, Krasnovodsk, Mary Turkmenabat, Kardzu runs. Also the new highway, the Transkarakum Railroad. Ashgabat Karakum departs from Ashgabat on the northeast Dashagoos. The movement on which is open since February 2006. The bus station near the Tukinsky market works in the city. In a northern part of Ashgabat, the new international bus station opened in September 2014 is located. Air transport. The international airport of Saparmurat Turkmenbashi, operating since 1994, is located in 10 km to the northwest from the center of Ashgabat. During the Soviet period it was used as the local airport. The new passenger terminal of the airport opened in 1994. In January 2013, construction of the new airport worth $2.1 billion began. Since March 2014 there began work at small passenger terminal, which in the period of a construction of the main passenger terminal undertook service of the passengers who were taking off and arriving to Ashgabat. The terminal, with a capacity of 1250 passengers, is constructed on the place of the airport existing earlier at the Turkmenistan district. 2013 Boulevard Cosmonauta. After input in a system of the main air terminal, the terminal it will be used for charter flights. The airport connects Ashgabat by air traffic with the large cities of the Republic, the CIS countries, Asia and Europe. Cyclists and pedestrians. City planning is very friendly to pedestrians and cyclists. There is a large number of walking paths, bicycle only begin to appear. Libraries. The State Library of Turkmenistan is founded in 1895. Central Library of Mektumkuli. The Turkmen State Children's Library of B. Amanav is founded in 1935. The Turkmen State Scientific and Medical Library is founded in 1940. The Central Scientific Library of Academy of Sciences of Turkmenistan is founded in 1941. Education. Ashgabat is one of the most important education centers of Turkmenistan. In the city, the considerable number of objects of education is concentrated. As of academic year 2013/14, in 19 higher education institutions of the capital 26.7 thousand students studied, at 139 schools 114.7 thousand pupils studied. Turkmen State University of Mektumkuli. International Turkmen-Turkish University. Turkmen State Medical University. Turkmen Agricultural University of S.A. Niyazov. State Academy of Arts of Turkmenistan. Turkmen Institute of the National Economy. Turkmen State Institute of Culture. Turkmen State Institute of Technical and Transport Communications. National Institute of Physical Culture and Sport of Turkmenistan. Turkmen National Institute of World Languages of Davlat Mamutazade. Institute of the International Relationship of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Turkmenistan. Turkmen State Institute of Economy and Management. Turkmen State Financial Institution. Turkmen National Conservatory. Military Academy of Turkmenistan of Saparmurat Turkmenbashi. Military Institute of Saparmurat Turkmenbashi of the Ministry of Defense of Turkmenistan. Police Academy of Turkmenistan of a name of the General S.A. Niyazov. Institute of Frontier Guards of the Public Border Service of Turkmenistan. Turkmen State Architectural and Construction Institute. International University of the Humanities and Development. Institute of Telecommunications and Informatics of Turkmenistan. Science. In 1951 in Ashgabat the Academy of Sciences of Turkmenistan was founded. In 2014 Ibikrav, the large center of technologies of Academy of Sciences of Turkmenistan, was put into operation. In the city the botanical garden works. Jumps. In Ashgabat both the amateur and professional sport is very developed. In the city -5 stadiums with stands more than 1,000 places, gyms, sports palaces, the covered objects with artificial eyes, pools. Among them Olimpijski Stadium, Ashgabat Stadium, National Olympic Ice Arena, Sports Complex of Winter Sports, Olympic Water Sports Complex, Kopatdijk Stadium. On December 19, 2010 in Kuwait the city of Ashgabat was chosen as the venue of the 5th Asian Games in the enclosed space and on martial arts, having become the first in Central Asia city which acquired the right for holding these games. Since 2010 in the south of Ashgabat the Olympic Town, a multi-purpose sports complex which more than 30 objects, including the Paralympic complex and the rehabilitation center will enter, is under construction. In the city professional sports clubs are based. Soccer. FE Alti Nasser, FE Ashgabat, FE Matu, SKS Hazina, act in the Championship of Turkmenistan. The known football club FE Kopatdijk, founded in 1947, acts in the First League of Turkmenistan. Hockey. AK Burgut, one of the strongest clubs of Turkmenistan. AK Alparslan, Youth AK Baytarlik, Youth AK Kalkan, AK Sher, AK Oguzkan, also train in Ashgabat. In Ashgabat the International Horse Racing Complex, largest in Turkmenistan, works. He is located in the Rukabatsky Etrap of the city on Kopatdijk Avenue near the National Museum of Wildlife of Turkmenistan. The total area of a complex is 90 hectares. The hippodrome allows to carry out both jumps and races. Healthcare. In Turkmenistan the modern paid national healthcare system is created. The number of family doctors in 2013 was 490 people, average medical personnel -3.8 thousand people. The number of hospital beds made 3.6 thousand units. Large medical institutions work. The International Center of Traumatology was constructed in 2011, is the largest traumatologic center in the country. The Oncological Center, the clinical treatment and prevention facility where the help to patients with good quality and malignant new growths is carried out, is created in 2009. The Central Hospital of Saparmurat Turkmenbaşı is designed for 120 patients, constructed in 2001 in Bikrav settlement. Dental Center. Pharmaceutical enterprise for production of infusion solutions. Directorate of the International Medical Centers. Within a national healthcare system in Ashgabat, the modern medical town, Directorate of the International Medical Centers is created. Or its part. The International Center of Treatment of Eye Diseases, one of the largest eye centers in Central Asia, located in the south of the capital. International Medical Center. International Center of Internal Diseases. International Diagnostic Center. International Center of Health Protection of Mother and Child of Anemiari. International Center of Treatment of Diseases of the Head and Neck. Management of the Centers of Infectious Diseases. On September 1, 2010 in a northern part of the Turkmen capital, 6 new clinics united by management of the Centers of Infectious Diseases of the Ministry of Health and the medical industry of Turkmenistan were open. Entered a complex. Central Skin and Venereologic Hospital. Tubercular Treatment and Prophylactic Center. Treatment and Prophylactic Center of Infectious Diseases. Center of Prevention of AIDS. Decentralized Laboratory. Center of Blood. Tourism. On the bank of the Ashgabat Cold Lake is created a large recreation area with objects of leisure infrastructure. Movie theaters. In Ashgabat several movie theaters work. In 2011 the first movie theater in Turkmenistan, Ashgabat, was constructed. Vatan and Turkmenistan movie theaters were reconstructed. Museums. The State Museum of the State Cultural Center of Turkmenistan, the largest state museum created in the early 90s. Branches. Museum Karish Sizlik. Museum Kalkanish. Museum Bitaraplik. Museum of Fine Arts of Turkmenistan of Saparmurat Turkmenbaşı Great, the art museum founded in 1927. One of the largest in Central Asia. The Museum of the Turkmen Carpet is founded in 1993. In the museum several hundreds of the best samples of carpets, the oldest of which treats the 17th century, are collected. There is the world's second largest handmade carpet, the Golden Age of Great Saparmurat Turkmenbaşı, which area is nearly 301 m, and weight more than a ton. The National Museum of Wildlife of Turkmenistan, the State Zoological Park in the suburb of Ashgabat. The newest in Turkmenistan. It is open in 2010. The total area of a zoo is 40 hectares. Parks and squares. The oldest park of the city, Ashgabat, is founded in 1887. In the downtown the square Inspiration, the art and park complex, which is the favorite vacation spot of citizens, is located. Amusement park World of Fairy Tales, local option of the Disneyland. In the city parks are located Ganesh Independence, Turkmen Turkish Friendship Squares. 10 years of independence of Turkmenistan, name of Maktumkuli, Arkadot Park, Zelili, Churchik, Labor Union, Oath, Vostochny Boulevard, Ania, on March 8, Sheola, Girokla, Dolphin, 15 years of independence, Rukyat. Sites. Cultural Entertainment Center Alam, the Cultural Entertainment Center located on Arkabilsi Highway 95 meters high. The big wheel of the closed type established in the center is the biggest in the world from available today. The main flag of Turkmenistan is the fourth highest flagstaff in the world. The Kachin Complex, August Khan and Sons, on entrance to the international airport of Ashgabat, which entered the Guinness Book of Records as uniting the largest number of fountains in the public place. The architectural and sculptural ensemble, which was open in June 2008, represents the legendary ancestor of the Turkic people of Oghuz Hanna and 6 his sons. Jian Hanna, Master of the Sun. Akan, Master of the Moon. Aldis Hanna, Master of a Star. Yekek Hanna, Master of the Sky. Daik Khan, Master of Mountains. And Dengis Hanna, Master of the Sea. According to the Guinness Book of Records, this complex includes 27 synchronized, lit and completely programmable fountains with a total area about 15 hectares. The Palace Oghuz Khan Complex. The residence of the President of Turkmenistan. It was constructed in May 2011 instead of the old, small palace located nearby. Mosques. Ertuğrul Gazi Mosque. The mosque in the Turkish style built as a gift from the government of Turkey. The mosque in the area Caches. The mosque in the 8th residential district. Iranian mosque. Churches. The Temple of the Saint Blessed Grand Duke Alexander Nevsky, the Russian Orthodox Cathedral. Temple of the Prelate Nicholas the Wonderworker. Resurrection House of Worship. Massachusetts media. On one of ridges of mountain system, Köprüdağ, of Ashgabat, the telebroadcasting center, Turkmenistan, which is the highest architectural construction of the city, is located. Height of a television tower is 211 meters. The 8-pointed Star of Oghuz Khan decorating her is recognized as the biggest in the world, the architectural image of a star, and included in the Guinness Book of Records. The tower, lit in nighttime with powerful illumination, is visible almost from any point of the city. On the 30th floor of a television tower, the observation deck is located. In the city broadcast 7 television channels. All Turkmen channels broadcast from Ashgabat. The city has own TV channel Ashgabat. Also in Ashgabat broadcast the following radio stations. The first channel of the Turkmen radio Vatan. His TV frequency of 279 Kaz is accepted also in Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan and the southern regions of Russia. The second channel of the Turkmen radio, Charms, the third channel of the Turkmen radio, Miraz, the fourth channel of the Turkmen radio, Ova. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.